Daily Tech News with Alan Smithson.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Daily Tech News. Today is Wednesday, May 8th. There's a lot going on in tech news. I had the unique opportunity. I'm in Montreal, Quebec right now, and I got to try a new VR experience that I'll show you that is incredible. They're actually taking VR to the next level for exercise and for training. Today, we have Borophene, taking over for Graphene. We've got a number of things going on in the world. We've got more deep fakes from the Met Gala, and there's a lot going on. So let's dive into it. Let's get started right now. Here we go. We're going to start with, let me just open this up. All right, we'll start with this one here. So the US is revoking Intel and Qualcomm's export licenses to sell to China's Huawei. And the idea here is that we are in this kind of chip war between the US and China. And, you know, it's getting crazy. It's like a tit for tat going on back and forth now. But anyway, they want to basically say that Huawei's AI-enabled laptop is powered by Intel's core processor, and they don't want them to actually do that. And they want them to stop exporting. Where is it here? They're actually small nanometer chips. I think it's 6 nanometer chips and lower. So we'll see. I'll put the links in there. You can dig into it. But this just seems like more tit for tat in the chip war between China and the US. But over to the Met Gala. Katy Perry's mom was even fooled by this deep fake pic that Katy Perry published. It got 30 million views before it realized that here it says, Katy Perry reveals her mom fell for an AI photo of her at the Met Gala and says, hey, I didn't know you went to the Met. What a gorgeous gown. You look like a rose parade on your own. Mom, the AI got you too. Beware. So, you know, look at the picture. It's pretty incredible if you think about it. Like even the photographers in the background, deep fakes are getting deeper. Okay, speaking of deep fakes and or fashion, I guess, if you would, this is robots in fashion. Who knew robots would be part of fashion accessories in the year 2024? Okay, over to a new material that could be better than graphene in the development for implantable technology. So at the University, Pennsylvania State University, they've been researching this. And move over graphene, there's a new improved two-dimensional material in the lab, Borophene. The atomically thin version of boron, first synthesized in 2015, is more conductive, thinner, lighter, stronger, and more flexible than graphene, the 2D version of carbon. So you can dig into that, take it for what it was, but I'm telling you now, material science is this kind of beautiful culmination of technology, science, ingenuity, and also now AI is starting to help us with this. So over to what can we do with better materials? We can actually print entire structures. So this gigantic 3D printer could reinvent manufacturing. So the interesting thing about this, it's not just additive. So 3D printing is additive manufacturing, meaning, you know, it's printing stuff. This one actually has a CNC machine. So it's actually additive and subtractive in one machine. And what that means is now you can build a house and you can cut windows out of it. You can start to do things that you could never do before. And really, really exciting about this. This is from the University of Maine. Look how big this thing is. It's like the size of a room. But I think there's some really cool stuff. The future of the factory 1.0. I'm excited. And I know, yeah, look at the sizes. They can capable of printing objects as long as 96 feet long, 32 feet wide, and 18 feet high. And it can print 500 pounds of material per hour. That's enough to produce a 600 square foot house in less than 4 days. Incredible. And this, of course, you can use all sorts of different materials. They're starting to use wood chips from factories. They can bring wood chips in and do that. So we're starting to see really, really great stuff with that. Over to the Gates Foundation. If you don't know, Bill Gates has put some competitions around building the next sanitation and toilet systems that can be used in remote areas. So they had this kind of exhibit with all the toilets and the idea behind the different science behind the toilets. How, what happens when you flush the toilet in North America? It goes down a sewer, then it gets put into a central processing place, and then processed. Well, in other areas where they don't have that infrastructure, you need to kind of deal with it on site. And so there's this really incredible effort to make toilets of the future. And if you scroll down here, they have this whole thing about everybody poops, and it's true. We're all humans, we all poop, and this is not something to be worried about. It's just we need to make sure it goes here. The biology of going, how we go, where it goes, when it goes wrong, no place to go, better sanitation, amazing. Now, question I have for you is, would you drink water from this fountain? I guess it's all part of the deal. All right, over to more medical news. Scientists are about to test medicine to grow new teeth. I don't know how I feel about this. I have lost a tooth because of, I had a root canal. I had to lose a tooth. So I think if we can grow back teeth, this would be really incredible. It says here, the patients will receive an antibody treatment that deactivates a protein called USAG1, believed to stop tooth buds, which most people have from developing either baby and permanent teeth. So we'll see how this goes. Wow. As always, I will put the links to everything in the comments and the description of the YouTube video. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube video because it really does help the channel grow. Over to CRISPR is providing trials that have a hope for inherited blindness. So if you're born blind, we're now going to be able to use CRISPR gene editing to knock out those genes and literally give you sight back. And so, wow, pioneering treatment. The Brilliance trial is using the first to use CRISPR gene editing directly inside the body to treat inherited blindness, targeting mutations in the CEP290 gene. I have no idea what that is, but man, I love science and I love technology. Okay, this is really neat. This is not really augmented reality, it's more CGI, but it's really a cool use of CGI. Check it out. So the bus is going through here. It's got a giant painting. Whoa, that's cool. They just painted the whole bus. And there it goes. Love it. I love what we're able to do now. It's so creative. Okay. OpenAI is working on new AI image detection. I should have talked about this right after the Met Gala thing, because the tool will predict if an image is from DALL-E 3. Now, the interesting thing about this is that they are able to, where is it here? They're able to detect with 98% accuracy if the image was created by DALL-E. However, they were able to kind of fool it by adding in some graininess to it. And when they added in graininess to it, it was only able to do it about 90%. So it lost about 10% of its strength in detecting this. But it's interesting because they've started a coalition of content provenance and authority, the C2PA. Content credentials are essential watermarks that include information about who owns the image and how it was created. In an era of deepfakes and AI being able to create images in seconds, we're going to need some way to know what's real and what's not. Okay, OpenAI, speaking of which, is building a tool that will let content creators opt out of AI training. So if you're a content creator, a writer, an artist, a graphic artist, you can now or soon will be able to opt out of their training data. Probably they've already trained on it. I can't imagine that they're going to retroactively take you out of the system, but I guess we'll find out. There's a lot of information there, and there's a whole other article here. It says OpenAI will release a media manager tool in 2025, allowing creators to block AI training. So I'll put the links in there and you can dig into it. This is an interesting conversation with the chief operating officer of OpenAI at the Milken Institute Global Conference, which is a think tank for economists.
At least in the next, call it 12 months. So I think the systems that we use today will be like laughably bad. They are laughably bad. I think we will look back in a year and realize how laughably bad they were. The kind of turn-based, like almost kind of Oracle-like system that ChatGPT is today is really, I think we don't see it as the long-term engagement model for what these systems can do and how they're going to be used. We think that we're going to move toward a world where they're much more capable. They're going to be capable of actually taking on more complex work. They're going to have more of a assistive relationship with users. So they'll almost be kind of almost like a great teammate that you have kind of working with you on any given problem.
So that's interesting because, I read a chart the other day and it showed algorithmic improvement over time. By 2030, we will have 1 million times more powerful AI than GPT-4. Take a second. In 5 years, we will have algorithms that are 1 million times more powerful than GPT-4. I almost got sick to my stomach when I heard that number. So think about it. It's really one of those things that this could go really great and save humanity, but we need to be careful. And I think it's just one of those things we got to be very careful on how we move forward with this. Okay, so we've already talked about that. Whoops, my messy desktop. Hold on one second. Let's move over to this. Okay, so we've talked about that. Moving over to here, we've got. Check this out. This is really cool. So this is a Snapchat filter. Yeah, check it out. And it's only 8 megabytes. So all this stuff coming out of here. Here we go. I don't know why it started again. But check it out. How cool is that? They got a Game Boy using physics and world tracking and shaders. They're able to do this with only 8 megabytes. Very, very cool. 100,000 moving particles. Huh. 8 megabytes running at 30 frames. It's really spectacular. And this is running on Snapchat. Snapchat is the #1 AR company in the world. They've done over 1 trillion snaps with AR. So you're starting to see, human creativity at its peak. All right. Something new came out yesterday, the Pixel 8a. It's a value-based phone. So they've increased the power of it. They've increased the camera of it. And the Google 8a is only $499. $500, get rid of the sound, but $500 for a phone with AI, great camera, great screen. I mean, this is incredible. This is what a value for $500 you can get a phone that, even 2 years ago would cost you $3,000 because of the amount of tech inside there. So really, really cool. It comes with Gemini built into it. So now you've got an AI tool that doesn't cost you anything extra. So now not only do you have a phone, but you have a full AI powered suite of tools inside your $500 device now. All right, we'll move on from that over to Microsoft is developing an air-gapped AI for spies that's isolated from the internet. American intelligence agencies will use an AI system from Microsoft that's isolated from the internet to process classified workloads. So when they're looking for top secret information, they want to make sure that it's not connected to the internet. This is actually quite a good idea. Being able to air gap, that means it's not connected to the internet at all. I think this is really good because the data that they're dealing with is super sensitive, and we don't want it to end up in a bathroom in Mar-a-Lago or something like that. So good on you, US government and Microsoft. Over to, if you pay attention to Apple released the iPad Pro with the M4 chip yesterday. And what that means for you is much faster memory bandwidth, 120 gigabytes a second. They've introduced a new, it's called Tandem OLED, which is 2 OLED screens together to give a much, much brighter, up to 1600 nits of brightness, which is insane. It's like retina melting technology here. They're using the M4 chip, which is their 3 nanometer Apple silicon with 10 cores of GPU, 10 cores of CPU, and up to 50% faster CPU than in the M2, and 4x faster GPU than the M2. And it's doing 38 trillion operations per second. Wow, we are at the exponential curve of this technology. And here I'll put all these links in there so you can dig right into it. There's a whole couple hour Apple presentation on the iPad Pro, the iPad Mini, the new Pencil Pro. It's got this new, what they're calling Ultra Retina Extra XDR display. It's all in here, all the goodness. You can scroll through here. Thinnest product ever. It's the thinnest Apple product ever. It's even thinner than the iPod Nano from 10 years ago, which was impossibly thin. So they've got it down to a few millimeters. I think it's 5 millimeters thick. Really cool display, M4 chip, all the things, powerful device. But then they actually added the LiDAR sensor onto this. So now you have a LiDAR camera built into the phone, and built into the iPad, and it's got front-facing camera that's on the edge side instead of the on the horizontal frame instead of the vertical frame, which is great. And updated cameras. It's got this camera sync, so if you're out of the shot, it'll kind of zoom around for you. Really just amazing stuff. The Apple Pencil Pro now tracks in 3 dimensions. Just super cool. They have this hover thing where when you get close to the screen, you can see where you're going to be. And I will just, here, I'll play this.
And it's all about
I'm not going to play too much because I'll get
I'm
kicked off
thrilled to
YouTube,
tell
but
you
there
all
go.
about the new iPad Air. Let's start with its brilliant liquid retina display. Users love the portability of the 11-inch form factor, which is perfect for tasks like jotting down notes while working on a project. Some Air users would prefer an even
I'm going to stop there before I get kicked off of here, but they've got speakers, they've got new colors, they've got this blue, purple, space gray is back again. The M2 chip is in the iPad minis, the M4 chip is in the Pro, new storage and pricing, and iPad Pro design, the thickness, all of this goodness. So it's all in there. You can dig into it. But yesterday, I mentioned that I had a chance to try something completely new, and I'll share that with you. This is, you remember Taebo from the 80s, or I guess 80s, 90s? Taebo, that exercise where you're kicking it. And if Akon said, "I just kick it like Taebo." Well, I got to try Taebo in VR, thanks to my friend.
Don't hear the music
Gabriel
anymore.
Bryan.
It's done.
Oh, it's done. Okay.
So, how was it?
It's sweaty and awesome. And I love it. I feel like it's just like a full-on workout in the middle of nowhere here. There's like nobody here. And yet I was in there and there's like a dojo and I can go practice and then I can go into the game. The game is like a workout, a proper workout. I'm sweating. I had fun. The music was fun. My form is terrible. And I do need a coach to tell me to keep my hands up. But other than that, wow, what a cool experience. That was a lot of fun.
It was so fun, and I want to say thank you to Gabrielle for letting me see that before anybody else. It will be available very soon for the public. It's Taebo in VR, and it is quite a workout. It was incredible to get my sweat on, get going, and to try the new Pico 4 headset. It looks very much like Ready Player One style headset. It's small, it's lightweight, super comfortable. I didn't feel any nausea or anything like this. So VR is making huge steps towards greatness, and I'm very excited for that. So that's it for Daily Tech News today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Go enjoy the sunshine, enjoy a coffee with somebody, and make sure that you connect personally with people, because yes, we have all these technologies that are helping our lives become better, but really it comes down to us humans being friends, being family, and enjoying life together. So have a great day, everybody. Peace.